Hi, welcome to the official Novellas YouTube channel. My name's Steven Camden. I'm the author of Tape, and this is my life in books.
And why?
What is my favourite book and why? My favourite book changes depending on what I'm working on. I have kind of moods and kind of phases where I'm influenced by a bunch of stuff, and it all gets poured into one little kind of place or pot, and all affects the project that I'm working on. So I don't have a favourite book. I have hundreds of favourite books, and then sometimes I wake up on a certain morning and go, and I just think of one that I want to read again. But the book that I read that made me want to write properly was when I was 18. I was at university in Leeds, and I used to just go to the bookshop and just wander around, like touching and looking at books based on. I didn't read about reviews or anything. I just remember finding a book, and it was called Last Things by a writer called Jenny Offill. And I took it out, and I remember it had one of those red, like a lace thing that keeps you the pages, and I was like, this is amazing. Right, and I remember opening it and sitting there, reading the first page and going, no, this really is amazing, and sat in the bookshop and read the whole thing, and it was like, right, I want to do that. I want to write a book that gets found by somebody and makes them want to write a book. Like The Circle of Life or something, I don't know, forget that. Okay. I remember my dad reading Macbeth to me when I was like 8, but I guess like the kind of condensed version of the story, you know? And there were these books called Tim and Tobias, about this world that you go through trees to another thing. But the first book I remember really owning was a book called Come On Ozzy, which was written by Hunter Davis. And he's this old journalist guy. I found it in a drawer in school in Mr. Page's history class. And it was this book, Come On Ozzy, and it had a boy on the front with his arms in the air and a football. And I was like, what's this? And I opened it up, and I loved it. And I was thinking about it today, it was a massive influence in the sense that it felt like real time. And real time is really important to me in terms of my own kind of writing and that sense of it. And turns out there's 2 sequels that I never knew about that I found out yesterday. So I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to read them. A book that has taught me something. Well, hopefully, I think they've all taught me something. I think that I'm quite stubborn and I'm quite a defensive person. So if I think I'm being taught a lesson in the moment, I will actively revolt against it. So if anything, my favourite ones feel like they were written, or kind of there are worlds or characters who have kind of stuck their fingers up to the idea of being taught a lesson, and rather just shown an example. So I guess examples that I've loved, I don't know, particular characters. I'd have to say that, I'd go back to the first one again and say Jenny Offill, in the sense that it felt like it was on her terms. And there were bits that were hard, and there were bits that were kind of, things seemed to slow down, but it all felt like a definite choice, and not like she needed me to be constantly going, wow, wow. Do you know what I mean? Like hooked at every single set. It felt more honest in that kind of way. So hopefully, if any of that comes through in what I do, then that would be amazing. Is there a book that I wish I'd written? I reckon I'm about 3 away from writing an amazing one, like one that's like some sort of opus or something. Maybe. Of ones that I've read, I don't know. There's a book called Marcello in the Real World by an author called Francisco X. Stork, which I thought was absolutely perfect. But I don't wish that I'd written it, because then I would have already known what happened before I got to the end. So no is my answer. Succinct, no. Cut the rest out.